Is it recording? Warning. Dismiss whatever insults your own soul.
We now go live to the Wrongtown Maximum Security Correctional Facility, where grumpy, amoral prison warden takes out his personal issues unfairly on the prisoners.
Where am I? The Wrongtown Bird Sanctuary, you bunch of no-good fucking weasels. Get back in your cold, uncaring cage. Why don't you go use your toilet which has no seat? Hey, you. Hey, Ed Gein. I'm talking to you. You're scum. Now go to your cold hole. Oh, your sheets are dirty? You want a replacement sheet? Oh, poor little scumbag. No, denied.
At that moment, a giant wrecking ball knocked a hole in the wall of the prison, revealing two boyish figures.
Intruder alert! Intruder alert! Intruder now, what alert! What con swallop is going on here? Who are you boyish figures? Identify yourselves. This isn't right. Now you show yourselves. This isn't a game. Warden, according to the Brennan Center for Justice, 39% of prisoners should not be in prison.
Warden, abusing people who commit crimes does nothing to help them become rehabilitated.
Now where are you? Warden, the Brennan Center for Justice found that 25% of prisoners would be better served by treatment, community service, or probation. The Brennan Center doesn't sound impartial to me.
Warden, prisons are often used as default asylums where people with mental illnesses can be forgotten about.
Stop! Warden, releasing inmates that don't have a strong public safety case for keeping them in prison would save the United States government $20 billion a year. That's enough to employ over 300,000 school teachers. Stop it. No, that's not true.
These prisoners are human beings, Warden.
The prison system disproportionately affects poor people, people of color, and indigenous people. It is a fundamental political and moral priority to reform or abolish prisons as they currently stand. They are a wound on our society, and they must be healed.
The goal of prisons should be to see people get better, Warden.
Punitive justice is a dead end, Warden.
And Warden, the man you have in that cell there is not the son of Ed Gein. Let's get him.
I'll just tie this around here.
Ooh, make sure you tie that so it doesn't hurt him.
Oh, sorry, Warden. Just because he's a dehumanizing warden doesn't mean he doesn't deserve some basic respect while we non-legally detain him.
I'll just drag him up here against the wall.
Just lock you onto that.
Alright, so I'm just going to reach onto your belt and grab these keys off. Open up this gate. Hi there, one honorable politician.
We're the Virtue Boys. We try to save political prisoners every week. You can support us on Patreon or PayPal. You've heard it before. My alter ego, Sean.
My alter ego is Aaron.
We're the Virtue Boys.
So who here is a non-violent drug offender? I'm going to let you all out.
Okay, that's 1 in 4. None of these people are lying, right? Oh, no, they're all telling the truth. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, we'll just open up all those cages.
And to all of you who served your time, you shouldn't be in prison for whatever reason. You know, there's lots of reasons. We're working on it. We got to start with just the most basic stuff today. Nonviolent drug offenses. Great place to start. You know, I feel bad that Warden's still gagged and bound over there. Maybe we should try to get through to him.
Yeah,
we need him on side ultimately, even if he's misguided. Hey, Warden, here, I'm just going to take this off. I don't want you to say anything, okay? Just be quiet for a second. Okay, Warden, we've given you a lot of stats. We're working really hard to just try to get the point through your thick head here. What do you have to say for yourself? It is how it is.
I totally understand why you would think that, Warden, but think about this. It isn't how it is.
Huh? Okay, I'm going to put this back over your mouth, and I'll just let that seed sort of percolate. Oh, one thing before we go. Here, let's go to the control room. I'm just going to use the keys to get in this door.
What do you got planned for the control room? Is this
just
a surprise?
I was just thinking... Here, let's just pop out the emergency tape here. It's annoying.
Yeah, it was getting annoying. Playing for a long time.
Just put this tape in for my personal connection, and I'll push the play button with my finger. Let's get the fuck out of here, though, because this is a major crime. Like a jailbreak is a major crime. I don't need to tell you.
Definitely.
Come with us, one good politician, not son of Ed Gein. Let's go.
Let's go right away, go somewhere today. Let's be together and stay and stay. Let's go together today, right away. Let's be together today. Together's the way I like the best. I like to be with you. I like the things you explain to me, the things you show me to do. Let's go right away, go somewhere today. Let's be together today.
Hello and welcome to Wrongtown News Radio Hour. I'm your host, Newsy McHostison. Today's top story, high-profile prison break. Early yesterday morning, it has been confirmed by the Peach of Chalif that two boyish men wearing tight clothes broke down a wall.
The boyish figures then proceeded to teach the prisoners about the prison abolition movement and break out the son of the notorious serial killer, Ed Gein.
The Peach of Chalif has requested calm, saying everything is under control, it's normal for this to happen, keep shopping.
In other news, the Wrongtown shopping center has descended into chaos as the citizens of our once peaceful town have found that they cannot get along and work together.
The fighting started late last night at Wrongtown Mall at Rich Reel's 1% deals.
And I'll just take the last gold-plated boat, please.
Excuse me.
Yes, you're excused.
You were going to take the last gold boat? I already had my hand on it.
You were just feeling it, and I've already got my credit card out, so...
Excuse
Mr.
me,
Reels,
sir.
Mr. Reels, just swipe
Mr.
this
Reels,
through, please.
We're going to need some conflict resolution here, Mr. Reels, because
Conflict
this
resolution?
is the last gold-plated boat, sir.
They'll order more in.
I'm trying to speak to Rich Reels, so know your place.
My place.
Your place.
My place is above you, sir.
No, your place is below me, sir. Now,
Above.
He's probably
Let's
not
physically
even
fight
good
about
for
it.
the money. Here, let me change into my combat monocle. You're a fucking disgusting piece of scum under my shoe.
You aren't fit to kiss the bottom of my shoes. They're so fancy and expensive.
I'll kiss what I like.
Roll up my sleeves.
Maybe I'll keep my sleeves down, you scumbag.
A slob like you would. Take that.
Don't stop that.
Oh, you're saying I shouldn't stop that? All right, I won't then.
Two different
Don't
statements, you bastard. I'll get you.
Horrifying stuff.
Now, we've got a socio-psycho-linguo expert to find her findings on how this division has spread. Hannah, are you there?
Hi, Mr. Newsy. Thanks for having me on.
It's my pleasure.
So, we've been studying this phenomenon as it's rippled out to the edges of Wrongtown. And what we found is that they see these rich people fighting and say, if rich people physically fight about their verbal problems, maybe we should all physically fight about our verbal problems and we'll become rich too. It's an easy mistake to make, and it's deadly.
Shocking and incredible insight. Thank you so much for being on, Hannah.
It is absolute chaos. The citizens of Wrongtown are buzzing around, flying, stinging each other like a bunch of swarming, murderous beans.
Oh, do you mean bees? Bees?
Bees? I'm talking about black and yellow striped flying beans. They sting you.
No, those are called bees.
Beans. Turn the TV off.
The situation here in Wrongtown is getting pretty fucking dire.
Yeah, things have
Street fighting
deteriorated rapidly.
It used to be that you would walk down the streets of Wrongtown, you'd wave to the mailman, you'd wave to the milkman, get a malt at the end of the day. It was a calm place. There was no street violence.
The worst you'd get is someone tipping their hat at you in the street. And when I say worst, it's best because it's nice to have the hat tipped at you.
But now the worst thing that happens to you when you walk down the street is instead of tipping their hats, they throw a fist.
Yeah, we got to get the throws back to tips and the fists back to hats.
Even if we could downgrade it to throwing hats, that's a step up from where we're at.
Definitely.
Or tipping a fist.
Yeah, they could be like a new Wrongtown friendly greeting, a tip of a fist.
Tip of the fist to you.
Yeah, these are some great ideas.
You know, I think the guy to do this, he ran on a platform of togetherness.
Yeah.
He's our uncle's son, of course, talking about the one good politician of Wrongtown, a great man.
Tragically lied about by us.
And sent to prison.
Sent to prison.
We should probably apologize to him.
Yeah. Knock on the door.
Hey, one good-hearted politician.
Are you up? We wanted to say hi and just, apologize for what we did to you.
I'm so sorry for the lies and the slander. You're not Ed Gein's son. It has nothing to do with your plan for a high-speed train to increase the welfare rate, to reform the prison system. I mean, these are things I support, and I just spread that lie about you. I'm so sorry.
We're so sorry.
They lied to us too. We didn't know.
Everything's falling apart.
And we want to be different. We want to do things right. We want to redeem ourselves.
Sorry.
We're so sorry. We're so sorry.
Do you forgive us?
You need a little while to think
Maybe
about
we'll
it,
need
or
some time. Yeah. Do you want an omelet? Sean was gonna make omelets.
Yeah, I was gonna go make some omelets.
He must need time. He's
He
not
needs
saying
time, yeah.
anything.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go make omelets for you. So I remember when you suggested togetherness as a subject,
Yeah, it's kind of a wrap up for the season.
the beauty of such a broad concept that is, in one hand, kind of trite or like silly,
Yeah.
but like at the same time, like when you think about it, is like a really profound and important concept.
Yeah, I think that banal, profound connection is really interesting. And we were like, oh, we should start heading towards something and pull all these threads that we've been doing together. And it's like, oh, you also bring ideas together. You can bring people together. You can bring society together. You can like work together to do something. If you're like out of sorts, you pull yourself together and get going on things. Like it just, in every area that you apply it, if you think about what applying it means in terms of concrete actions, it's a really powerful concept.
Just listening to all the different ways that togetherness can be applied, it's really striking what diversity there is under the metaphor of togetherness.
And it's interesting to think about like what actually connects all those things. Like what does pulling yourself together have to do with working together with others, have to do with coming together as a society? Like those are three like very, very different ideas, but yet we use the same word for them because there's some like heart of it.
What we need to do is take all the different togethers out there.
Mm-hmm.
And then what we need to do is bring those togethers together.
Whatever the heart of it is, like that's kind of a fun thing to point your brain at, but it's really something that I don't think could be articulated properly. But what you kind of can articulate is like, when you invoke this idea of togetherness, what kind of actions do you envision yourself taking?
I do really, really believe, I know that we're all in this together and we need to work together to solve the problems that affect us all.
All in this together is a physical fact of like we're all on this one planet that is only so big.
It's also a physical fact in that we share systems for evaluating the world and collaborating, and our capacity to communicate with each other on a different level than anything else we've ever experienced anywhere in nature other than other human beings.
Yeah.
You can teach any person on Earth French. You can teach any person on Earth English. We all see colors. Most of us. But all these commonalities, like that's a physical togetherness that is reality.
Yeah, right. And communication. And like maybe that actually is one of the commonalities or the commonality. Like you can't work on something together without being able to communicate properly and like understand each other. And you can't bring the world together, whatever that means, without having global communication and understanding. And you can't put yourself together unless you're being honest with yourself and like you're honestly communicating who you are to other people and like listening to other people.
A romantic relationship where you're not able to communicate with each other is like a death sentence.
You're not going to stay together.
That's a person you need to talk to. But it's the same with, I guess, any group, right? Or any togetherness that forms is reliant on the coherence of conversation and the capacity to share perspectives with one another. You know, it's something that I fluctuate on. It's not something that's easy to do, but the ability to have that English to English communication. Because when we're talking about division and communication, what obviously comes to mind is like the shibboleths of political culture right now, where people are speaking in these completely different vocabularies. For example, our favorite definition wobble is the word liberal, which means something bad to pretty much everyone, but it means totally different bad things depending on who you're talking to, except to several groups of people that call themselves liberals in different ways. In a political context, if we can't speak to each other and be heard and be understood, then we're really fucked.
It reminds me of something that we talked about in the very first episode, the ideological babblefish, because you just mentioned English to English communications and just like this idea of a universal ideological translator.
Yeah, the ideological babblefish, I love that idea. I mean, and that's 4 years ago that we made that sketch, 4 and a bit.
Yeah.
But I think that was a good insight, communication and peace are related.
Yeah, when you have people together in one physical space, you can either learn to communicate with each other or you start fighting each other. Unless you all already think the same thing anyway.
There's a concept for when you're not literate yourself, but you know someone who's literate who can read for you. It's like a second step literacy. And I want to take that concept and then apply it to English communication. We should all make sure that every community has one degree of separation.
From someone who's, fluent in various ideologies.
Because it's unrealistic to expect that everyone's going to become fluent on every fucking absurd existing ideology you run into.
No, totally.
I think some of the effort that I took to understand the different varieties and flavors of far-right politics was some of the worst wasted time of my entire life. And I wouldn't wish that on anyone else to discover the things that I discovered.
but now that you have it, maybe there's some way to use it to be a peacemaker and bring them together with the normal people a little bit more.
This is just sort of a tactic for togetherness looking forward. It's when you're talking about not being able to communicate with your neighbors, I've heard fascists say that.
Right. Like a sort of social breakdown being a problem.
Yeah, that there would be tension that exists from having people in your country that don't speak your language.
Right. It's interesting because it speaks to a value similarity, they're valuing communication in this way we're talking about, but they're taking what could be a minor surmountable thing and blowing it up into a way, way worse thing. Instead of making it better, making the level of disconnect.
Yeah, instead of trying to bridge the gap or looking what tools do I have available.
I was just thinking about this in terms of nested together. They have this togetherness thing right, but it's a togetherness based on division rather than togetherness is all the way down.
I know what the inequality there is that someone who lives in Canada and speaks primarily, say, Cantonese, they have people in their lives that make them functionally fluent in English when it matters in limited contexts. They know people in their families or whatever.
Right.
But if you're an English speaker in Canada, the chances of you knowing someone who's an intermediary that can speak Cantonese on your behalf, that can translate Cantonese for you, is really low.
Right.
So if you want to, here's my back of the envelope togetherness theory, is that we need to get people who have racial anxiety. They need people in their life that can translate on their behalf. If they're not willing to learn more languages to be able to communicate with more people, then they should strive to have a network that includes someone who can. And I think that's a really beautiful and important idea for bringing people together. And just generally, I really respect and admire people who speak more than one language. And I think we should sort of revere them socially and collect them like prizes.
Yeah, well, I would like to speak more languages, but I'm not willing to prioritize it. So get those Star Trek Universal Translators. Man, they meet aliens and they all just sound like they're speaking English. They never have to deal with that because it just works.
Another thing, for bringing people together, just another quick thing,
Oh, is your beeper going off?
Oh, yeah. It says Amber Alert, an emergency message from the Zenon group.
Oh, no. TV on. Click to the right channel.
15.
Oh, just a little bit of Friends? No, we shouldn't.
We don't want to miss the beginning.
Welcome to the Zenon group.
Zenon group.
Welcome to the Zenon group tape. Emergency Amber announcement. For Wrongtown.
Together.
Wrongtown needs togetherfulness. Because without togetherfulness, Wrongtown becomes apartful. And what's apartful can never last. So we have to bring it together with Zenon Group, togetherful.
Hi there. I am the grandson of Chester Zenon, the founder of Zenon Group. And this is my uncle's son.
And we're here to unveil a brand new policy.
So as many of you probably already know, my grandfather, Chester Zenon, pioneered a new historical science, which has been proven right time and time again.
History moves in cycles. It moves through step 1 to step 4, then back again, step 1 to step 4. Step 1 is private thoughts about division. This just means thinking mean things about other people, thinking that you wish they weren't there. Step 2 is divisive words and actions.
Like, for example, letting a door close behind you, sort of a passive, divisive action.
Step 3, those actions turn into violent, divisive actions. And that's what we've seen spreading like wildfire through Wrongtown.
Look, my grandfather predicted this. It moves like clockwork, and I hate to tell you what step 4 is. Genocide. Possibly the worst genocide that we've ever seen.
The science of the historical progression has been proved, and it lends support to the science of the 2-step process that my uncle's father, otherwise known as my grandfather, developed. So step 1 is to control the thoughts at the source. Mm-hmm. Now, for a long time, the Zenon Group has made available our patented thinking caps.
Yeah. So we reached out to our friends at Wrongtown. We've got a really exciting public-private partnership. The state is going to be fully subsidizing thinking caps, and we can offer them on a sliding scale based on income. At the lowest income, absolutely free.
So agents will be coming to your house. If they don't match your fashion, we do have implants. Mm-hmm. If you don't like the look of the thinking cap, I don't know why you wouldn't. They're very stylish.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of variety there. And this is absolutely free hats.
And once you have the thinking cap on, you won't have any more negative thoughts.
We like to trim those, a little haircut.
Trim those, and that makes people togetherful again. We were togetherful once in the great past, and we're going to bring us back around to togetherful again. And step 2 of the process, mandatory drugs to stop the negative emotions. That's pretty self-explanatory.
And again, free or low cost.
We say rich people can afford to pay a little bit more, but the poor people will get them for free.
This is just good social policies. The rich can afford to pay a little more for their mandatory brain drugs.
Yeah, we're so excited to bring everyone together, all thinking the same things, saying the same things, kind of moving in unison in a sort of sci-fi dystopian.
Utopian.
Utopian future where we all make even the same motions at the same time.
Beautiful, it'd be like synchronized swimming down the streets. Everyone stepping all in unison and speaking in one voice. People say nothing can change. We at Zenon Group, we think a little differently. We think that a better world is possible. Thank you so much for watching. And I think we've just got a quick tape here. This is the Zenon Group corporate comedian.
He really brings the point home and makes it humorous. I always chuckle.
Disaffected youth really love the corporate comedian. So just pop this into the tape player.
And make sure all this plugged in.
Yeah, all plugged? Is it all plugged?
It is plugged. Thanks for asking.
The text is faded on the
controller. I think that one's the play button.
So that's record.
Yeah, you don't want to record over the tape of the comedian.
No thanks. Then I push the right button. It's a pleasure to be here. I want to thank Zenon Group for sponsoring tonight's event. So the other day I was thinking to myself, this is a true story. No word of a lie. I was thinking to myself, maybe I won't support the government. Just kidding, folks. What do I look like, a lunatic? Of course I support the government, folks. I was dating a girl. I met her from web-based dating. Don't tell my parents, folks. I'm serious. Web-based. She told me she doesn't support corporations. I'm serious, folks. This maniac didn't support all the corporations. She mustn't hate them. They're there to help her. He said it. By the way, everyone, tonight we had a lot of fun, but if you find the son of Ed Gein, kill him.
He said it.
Thank you.
Hilarious stuff.
Oh, kills me every time. That's amazing stuff.
But yeah, no, seriously, you will be pardoned if you kill that man. That's totally allowed.
Yes, that's part of the agreement.
And on with the show.
On to the back of the show.
And now, back to the On with the show at the Wrongtown Diner, where wrestler turned actor turned politician Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson meets with his friend, the Wrongtown mailman. Well, thank you for taking me out to dinner. It is just so nice to be here. It's so nice to see you.
Well, it's great to be here with you, friend. I'm so happy you've recovered.
Well, thank you. And I just want to say that you've been such a positive male role model in my life. You've taught me how to keep my sexual comments to where they're appropriate. You've taught me what it means to be a friend. You've taught me everything I know, basically, except how to deliver the mail. I knew how to do that quite well.
Well, you were incredible, and you've taught me quite a bit about mail delivering yourself.
Oh,
I gotta say, I've really improved since. But I gotta say, mailman, you're making me blush. I'm just so proud to see your development over time. The only thing I could compare it to is the development of Fast Five from script to screen. The fabric of it was so amazing from the start, and then to see it shaped by skillful hands into just, you're one of the best people I've ever met. And I've starred in some fantastic movies. Who could forget Disney's Mona? But also my newest film, which is in theaters this Friday, Rampage. Sorry, I'm doing it again. You've heard this before. You're my best friend.
Yeah.
Seeing your development and being sort of your woke big bro who brings you through.
I'll just take the plate there if you don't mind.
Oh, absolutely.
Is this all together or apart? Well, we're definitely together. He's my best friend, and we're together, friends till the end. But I think we probably will get two separate checks.
No, stop. Mailman, you just recovered from a long illness. You've been off work.
Yeah.
Let me get this. We'll get it together, please. This is one of my best friends in the world.
Well, thank you. That is so kind.
Don't think anything of it. I'm a millionaire actor. I can afford to pay a little extra.
Elsewhere, in the same cafe, bread genius and egg genius meet to discuss their relationship. Oh, egg genius.
Hey, bread genius. So I guess you're wondering why I wanted to meet her. Maybe you know.
Yeah, I mean, you haven't been home, and I feel like I got a sense for where this is headed.
Yeah. I don't see us having a future together anymore, and I think I'd like to have a divorce. You know, right now we're French toast, we're egg and bread all mixed together.
Yeah.
And I think it's time to peel that apart, and maybe you can get into a nice sandwich, and maybe I'll become a meringue, find a nice lemon slice.
I'm so sorry I lied to you all through our relationship and had all those children by other fathers. It wasn't right for me to lie to you about that. You know, you're ending the marriage now, but I think I really ended it when I took those actions.
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't do enough. I saw this coming a long time ago. We were drifting apart. And I cheated on you a couple times.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Well,
I was pretty sure you were cheating on me, and I was really resentful, and I was just like, fuck it, cheat on her.
and thank you for being honest with me. It's just funny, like now we're being honest with each other.
Yeah, all of a sudden
at
it's
the
like
end.
the window's open, and we're breathing this air of honesty because we just no longer have to go home together, and it's like something sort of cathartic about just being able to like, blah, you know, just sort of get it out and be really matter of fact.
And will you two be together or separate?
We're separate.
Yeah, separate.
But in a sense, waiter, we are together. I mean, we're obviously together here in this booth, but our lives are entwined forever. We share a child, and
We've shared many years together.
but yeah, sorry, two bills.
And in a third booth on the other side of the restaurant, Felix Bones and his nemesis, Trevor, discuss some very important plans.
Oh, I'm super happy to have you here with me today. Today we're going to be talking about the Zenon group. But first, before we get into that, I just want to talk about how Wrongtown Diner is one of the best restaurants I've ever been in. Now, this is a place that they give you grits, bacon, everything in between. They'll refill your coffee as many times as you want. And it's got the nicest staff. It's incredible. And I just wanted to give a quick shout out to them for hosting us today. All right, so now the reason that we're both here today is to talk about the Zenon group and their evil plan to control our minds and control our children and to poison our water
You were
supply.
working with them.
Yeah, well, they were some of the nicest guys I'd ever met at the time, Trevor.
Ooh, it was so nice.
Yeah, all right, well, okay, they're fun, but, you know, we're united here in an alliance resistance because we need to work
Ooh,
together on this.
absolutely. We're going to take them down because you need your show back on the air and I need to make fun of you on the air.
I couldn't agree more. Now, these are monsters. They're probably Satanists, demons.
Oh, yeah. Not just moneyed interests.
No, I mean,
demons.
You're making a point there, but why do you have to do it in such a way?
Maybe because everything you say is ridiculous.
I mean, Trevor, I'm eager to do this. I'm eager to come together around common interests for a greater good.
Me too.
But I'm a human being, Trevor.
Oh, are you? I hadn't noticed.
I'm a human being, Trevor. My life has value. I need to be treated with respect and dignity.
Ooh,
I need to
respect.
feel like I have a seat at the table, that my voice has value.
Oh, needy. Mr. Needs feel
Yes,
good.
I do have needs. I'm a human being. I have needs.
Ooh, needs.
Yes, everyone deserves dignity, Trevor. I mean, okay, now I need to put a line in the sand here. If we're going to work together, you have to treat me like I'm a human being who has dignity. This is the only way this is going to work. We need to work together, Trevor. Become the resistance.
Okay,
And you're going to be a good boy now?
for now. Not a single rude word out of these lips.
All right.
You want to shake on it?
Yeah, let's shake on that. Put her there, pal.
All right, I'll just take your hand.
Up, and then
Ooh, and then down.
down.
Oh, that was a shake.
Now that's how you shake a goddamn hand. And those fucking monsters.
Will this be together or apart?
Together.
Together.
We're going to take them on together.
And now, an apology from the head of a very popular social media company.
Hello, everyone. I'm very sorry about the Cambridge Analytica thing. The way that your personal information was spread around is not acceptable. It doesn't represent Facebook, and that's not what I'm about. I'm just going to get a drink of water here. I love water. Generally, I'm more broadly sorry for Facebook's entire business model. I'm sorry for using it exactly as it was always intended from the start, to harvest massive amounts of data about you and everyone you know, and then use that to... Sorry, one second. I'm just going to have some water. Need 8 glasses a day. I'm sorry for using Facebook exactly how it was designed. And I'm also really sorry for Facebook's secret plan, spearheaded by me, to release all of your private direct messages to the public in one big WikiLeaks-style data dump. As you can imagine, releasing everyone's private messages at once is a very fundamental breach of their privacy in a way that I now realize Facebook's internal culture was wrong to see as all right to even consider. I don't want to be a little king who can destroy anyone's life at any time. I don't want to release every private message you've ever sent since 2007 or whenever you signed up on Facebook to the public to be picked apart by everyone to interpret the tone and context of your past communications in a massive record. We no longer plan to do that at Facebook. Just water, sorry. And I don't want to just be sending empty words as an apology. I want to show that I'm committed to making a real significant change. And so Facebook is committing to a process of transferring from a private for-profit corporation, and instead we're going to be moving to a people-centric platform where you own your own data and have a reasonable expectation of privacy. All communication and pages are going to be encrypted, and we're going to be moving it into public hands to be treated as a utility. Sorry. And we're going to be deleting all of your private messages unless you opt in to keep them, because we really should destroy those. Because you didn't mean that when you said that in 2009. There's no reasonable reason to keep a record of what you said in 2009 in private before you realized the ramifications of the Facebook platform. Thank you.
And now, back to the show.
So there's this kind of like trope that humanity is so divided against itself, but if we were faced with an external threat like an alien invasion, something just insurmountably large and horrible that we all need to work together to defeat it.
Yeah, crises are when people who couldn't have worked together before will, figure it the fuck out because we gotta.
I always sort of see that invoked to say, like, let's wait. Things will get bad and people will rise up.
I also see it invoked as like a hopelessness thing. Like human beings won't work together until we have some other thing to be against. Groups only come together in relationship to opposition.
Yeah, there's like this fatalistic kind of, human beings have this inherent antagonistic quality that if we don't have someone outside of us to fight, we'll fight amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess there might be some legitimacy to in that, at the very least, our inherited culture for a very long time seems to have involved varying but sometimes severe degrees of violence.
No, I think there's a lot of truth to it, actually. But that thing that we're all together against, like, it doesn't have to be another group of beings. It can be like this state of disarray and horror that exists.
Yeah. Well, we do have that crisis. We've got a significant amount of people in slavery right now. Don't have the numbers in front of me. Look it up. They're slaves.
Yeah.
We didn't get rid of them. I mean, slavery still exists, and we're also facing an environmental crisis, financial crisis, increasing inequality, perpetual war. We're so surrounded by all of this like untenable shit going on around us all the time, like in our eyes like twitching, and we're like, that's fucking, this isn't going to work in the long term. Like from a design perspective, spaceship Earth is fucking veering out of control in a bunch of different ways.
Yeah,
and
it's a kind of conceptual leap that you're asking people to make in doing that. Like instead of saying, I'm noticing all these things that are wrong around me and it's those people's fault, so I'm against those people, the people who think differently than me, the people who look differently, like however you other people, then the people that I've othered, it's their fault that everything's wrong, and let's rise up against them. To say, no, the thing that is the other, the thing that we're against together is the existence of these social ills, the existence of this inequality, the existence of this state of less than optimal existence for so many people on the planet right now. Like that's the thing that's the enemy. It's not the other people.
I think that analytical leap isn't too much to ask. There's a ton of advantages to shifting your thinking, the hatred of human beings and blaming of human beings, and then look at the reality that the crises and problems that we need to unite against and destroy together are not caused by any one individual. There's no King Poverty who's like, I make poverty happen, and if you assassinate me or put me in jail, poverty will disappear. There's a zillion people across the world who have little tiny slices of King Poverty in them. King Poverty is something that we carry within us. Like in just being in the first world, it's like you carry a tiny bit of King Poverty. It's not tenable to kill anyone who's contaminated by King Poverty.
And like in a lot of ways, that's a very freeing framework, because it's like, okay, we're not blaming individuals for this. We're just talking about these patterns of behavior that get replicated across social space and end up with these outcomes that aren't beneficial to people. I'm just anticipating this objection of like, well, no, like actually like people are shitty to each other a lot of the time. And it's not just because of systems. It's because like we're morally ambivalent beings that are sometimes good and sometimes bad. And that's kind of like part of the package deal. Like people are cruel to each other and people are like thoughtless and hurtful and all the other like negative aspects of humanity. And like just like inserting a new system isn't gonna completely turn that around and change human nature. But we're not designing systems to make people perfect. We're attempting to design systems that will work as good as we can make them work, despite imperfect circumstances and despite imperfect people, like with like taking for granted that people are sometimes going to fuck up or be cruel or do the wrong thing, and make it so that those things, when they happen, don't hurt people more than is absolutely minimal necessary.
A minute ago, you mentioned human nature, and I just want to point out something about human nature. Is like human nature is to work together in groups for common ends and to participate in shared rule sets and expectations, which are clearly malleable. It's silly to suggest that human nature doesn't include the potentiality of that. You look at human cultures and societies, there's so much variety with them, so much creativity, and this sort of like human spark, like that. I can't understand how anyone could talk about human nature except at least partially in terms of reverence. When people disparagingly sort of attack human nature in general and just like
the
don't
bad things. Yeah.
just, yeah, like, oh yeah, human nature is gambling and blaming people for systemic problems. It's like that's awfully specific for a nature. That's
We have a lot of different potentials, and like the right way to go about things is to be trying our best to encourage the potentials for good and for creativity and for all the wonderful things you were just talking about.
And we need to come together, folks. It is time to come together. It is time
to come together.
Today's episode of Seriously Wrong is brought to you by the brand new 3D Virtue Boys, the movie.
This summer, when crime and division is at its worst, when everything is at its most dire, all of it rests on the shoulders of the most important men in the world.
Who?
Little us? The Virtue Boys.
I'll just help you put on your mask here.
Could you tie my cape?
Oh, yeah. This cape
thanks.
looks great on you. It's the perfect size.
Bringing your lasso?
Yes, I am. Thanks for asking.
That really completes the look.
I was going to say the same about your spiked mace.
Oh, thank you.
And it's good for breaking skulls.
To fight back against the most evil man in Wrongtown.
My grandfather made this town. The only thing I can think to do is something so wildly evil.
Sir, you can't create physical embodiments of all of the violent, destructive forces facing humanity.
Who is this assistant, and why isn't one of you firing him? He's mad.
You're the one who's mad. I'm gonna warn the Virtue Boys.
Mr. Poverty, Mrs. Child Slavery, after him, after him.
Hey, not so fast.
Take that, Miss Corruption.
And how about one of these right in the face, Mr. Misanthropy?
For a second there, when I was beating the physical human embodiment of cruelty to death with my bare hands, feeling his bones break underneath the power of my fists, I lost myself in it. It was totally like a flow state.
Yeah, I wouldn't beat humans, but these are just real embodiments of all the worst vices of society with gendered Mr., Miss, or Mrs.
Arbitrarily,
or Ms.
I might add.
Titles.
What metaphorically should be done, we're able to physically do, and just have this mook archetype who just represents poverty itself. It's like, that's something to hate. And that's something that we did in the sketch. So on with the show. Thanks for listening.
On with the show. That was a film trailer for a movie. Starring us, that's coming out.
What a horrible dream.
Oh, what is your dream?
I dreamed that there was a movie trailer where the Zenon group had made physical embodiments of like misanthropy and cruelty and other things that have no place in a civilized society. I'm just so glad that you slept over tonight.
That does sound scary.
It was spooky, man. In order to get back to sleep, I think I might need to listen to a relaxation tape.
There. You just lay down. Don't lift a finger. I'll wheel out the cassette player.
Thank you. Oh my God. You're the best neighbor in the world.
Aw, thanks. Let's open the cassette tape case, and then I'll take the cassette tape out of the case, place the cassette tape into the player, and then push the lid of the player closed.
Your narration is so relaxing. I'm not even sure if I need the tape now.
Welcome to Keyboard Warrior Radio Theater.
Jeffrey, my boy, you look so handsome in this photograph.
Dad, I've told you how many times that I don't want you commenting on my Facebook profile pictures. The only way that we're going to remain Facebook, quote, friends is if you look but do not interact. It's embarrassing to me to have you commenting on my profile picture in public. Please stop, in all caps.
Come on, my adult son. I miss you, boy, and I'm dying. I'm on my deathbed. I want to send a nice comment to my boy. Please, can I call you handsome in front of everyone? I'm so proud. You come for a visit. Pop-Up misses you.
I'll come visit you, I promise. But, Dad, you've lied to me before about dying, and if you're lying again, I need you to please just be honest. Like, if you want to have a relationship with me, if you want me to visit more, A, I need you to apologize for all the times you called Teen Patrol on me when I was a kid, and B, I need you to tell the truth about whether you're dying or not at all times.
Son, I am dying. This time it's real. Okay, son, I'm not dying. I just miss my boy. And I only ever called Teen Patrol for your own good. And the strong adult son you are today is a result of many hours of Teen Patrol, which I gladly paid.
Okay, fine, Dad. Thank you for telling me the truth. I'll come see you tomorrow. Do you want me to bring some food?
Please bring extra large lasagna like last time. Daddy loves big lasagna. Also, P.S. You really do look handsome in this pic.
Okay, Dad, I'm going to have to defriend you on Facebook so that we don't have any more profile picture conversations, but, feel free to text me.
Defriending me on Facebook, huh? Daddy knows just who to call.
Team Patrol.
I'd like to pay you and your men to capture my son.
Oh, you got a problem with your teen, hey? Yeah, we can be there in a jiffy. How old is he?
41.
Ooh, well, that's a little bit out of our jurisdiction. We only take care of teens. Sorry.
He's a teen at heart.
Ooh, sir, I definitely understand where you're coming from, but unfortunately,
Now I pay for the full package.
Sorry, full package only covers teens. Call back again if you do have another teen. Maybe if you have another child and it grows into a teen.
Please help me. I'm an old man. I'm dying.
Ooh, yeah, geez, that is the pits. Maybe there's middle-age patrol. I don't know. It's not my area of expertise.
Every patrol has a price.
Oh, I wouldn't know anything about that, sir. All I know is teens. So.
I need my boy.
Okay, then. Bye-bye.
Please.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
And join us next time for another episode of Keyboard Warrior, Father-Son, Deathbed, Teen Patrol, Radio Theater.
And now the Wrong Boys and the one honorable politician in Wrongtown have hacked into the Wrongtown News Network mainframe and are broadcasting a desperate plea for help.
Hello, my cousins, my brothers and sisters, my siblings, mothers, fathers across the nation, nieces, nephews, workers, typewriterists, and the rest. I come to you today in an emergency broadcast to warn you that the Zenon group is not your friend. Do not allow them to pin you down, take away your emotions, take away your thoughts, and turn you into a walking zombie like them. You're a free person, and we have to rise up. We have to rise up now and forever for freedom, for decency, to take care of one another. We need to do what is right. We need to give people leisure time and access to resources, access to medicine and therapy, good, healthy food, clean water for all. We can do this. Zenon Group wants to take it away. They're going to deprive you of what you need, and we must rise up against them. So I hope you're all rising up now. As we always say in Wrongtown, we need to have a good birth. We need to birth a new world together. And I believe we can, friends. I bid you all good night.
Proper broadcasting restored. People around Wrongtown are rising up. It is pandemonium out there.
People are breaking branches off of trees, rioting, pillaging. It's not clear they understand what they're rising up against, nor what rising up actually would mean practically within military strategy.
The ideological landscape here is incredibly confusing. You have the protesters, they're all holding up signs saying togetherness. You have the counter-protesters holding up signs saying togetherfulness. Some of them are for Zenon Group, some of them aren't. People are very confused about what those two words even mean, why there's even any argument going on when we're all talking about being together, but there's blood in the streets, and rising up has just turned everything far, far worse than it ever was before.
We had a correspondent go down to Zenon Group headquarters thinking, okay, they're going to rise up. They're all going to go to Zenon Group headquarters. Like, that's who they're rising up against. Our reporter has been there for no word of a lie 7.5 hours, not run into a single protester yet. They seem to be focused on nearby windows, patio furniture. It's unclear what this has to do with the outcome that they hope to create. Now, I mean, you heard it here first. Rising up makes no sense, and the official position of the news network is everyone should stop doing it and stop being so foolish.
Zenon Group only wants what's best for us. So
Yes.
listen to Zenon Group.
A roof collapsed at a supermarket in France.
Okay, are we back on? Okay, the news network is lying about us. Yes, there's been some tactical mistakes and there's been windows broken, but the rioting has been severely overstated. And all the people behind this movement, the everyday people coming out to the rallies, preparing, they're the real heroes. And we're going to give the rest of the time before they take us off to all of them.
I am rising up against Zenon Group because human beings are born free, and everywhere they are in chains.
I'm rising up because ever since Grandma got her thinking cap, she keeps throwing baby food at me and calling me Melissa. It's not even my real name. She just keeps saying it.
I'm rising up because my husband thinks that they're called bumblebeans now instead of bumblebees, and that they're a type of bean that flies around and stings you. Bumblebeans?
Why am I rising up against the Zenon Group? Well, let me tell you, mister, because they taught my son, my little baby boy, that the next step after throwing blocks at his sister was mass genocide. And you know what? That little son of a gun tried to go through with it.
Hi, Egg Genius here,
Bread genius.
and we are rising up against Zenon Group.
Just like bread.
She's always quick with the bread analogy.
It's the yeast I could do.
Just stop. You're killing me. You're killing me.
I've been waiting to do these jokes a whole week. I'm going to wheat my whistle with some good comic jokes.
Oh, God.
Sorry, I hope
I'm
that wasn't
crying
too
right
cornbread.
now. Tell them why we're rising up. Tell them why we're rising up.
We're rising up because Zenon Group have been working to crack down on artificial insemination in Wrongtown, saying
Yeah,
it's unnatural.
it's terrible.
Artificial insemination is a really, really key part of our kink, which is jealous lover sexy roleplay. Raising children from different biological fathers is
It's all
something.
part of the fun, let's just say. We're in a divorce cycle right now of our game, and I gotta say, the sex is amazing, but this Zenon Group stuff really putting a pickle, what it's a dilly of a pickle.
Listening to him talk about the new sexual heights a relationship has reached, it's getting me hot and toasty, to be honest. He really knows how to butter me up.
Oh, you kill me with those.
I cannot tell a lie.
Control reestablished.
Breaking news story. It seems that the Peach of Chalif has called into our radio network to make a big announcement.
Oh,
Hopefully it's
can't
a
wait
little
to hear it.
Law and Order, a little strong arm.
They've been crushed, and things will be back to the way it was, that golden time before the division.
Hey there, Peach. It's so good to hear from you.
Thanks for having me on. I don't have a lot of time. They're hunting me right now.
Uh-huh.
I'm on the run for my life.
Oh, you don't say.
I just wanted to call in because we all made so many mistakes. We should have never trusted Zenon Group.
Well, that doesn't seem right.
I'm a disgrace to the Chalif department, and this is my official resignation.
No, why would you?
What I want everyone to know is that I stand with the people's resistance. Zenon Group must be stopped, and they can be stopped.
That can't be true.
There's a spark inside each of us, and no amount of thinking caps or dulling drugs can extinguish it if each and every one of us pulls ourselves together and then works together to build a better future.
Well, you know what? I think we're going to have to cut our friend off there because what he's saying about the Zenon Group is absolute nonsense.
They predicted steps 1 to 3.
Yeah, I mean,
what, are you going to say steps 4 are not going to happen if we don't crush this right now with solutions 1 and 2?
Oh, breaking news. We've just got word that Mayor Bus Driver has agreed to take a meeting with Sean and Aaron and the one good politician in Wrongtown. Sounds a lot like negotiating with terrorists to me.
It's not what Dictator Bill would have done.
That's for sure. Oh, with all this stuff, sometimes I get the urge to stand up and sing the Dictator Bill song instead of the Zenon Group song.
You know, I've always thought both of those songs went really well together.
Do you want to sing them both at the same time right now to end the show?
Layered on top of each other?
Yeah, I think it'll go together. Do you want to do the Zenon song or the Bill song?
I'll do Dictator Bill. I miss Dictator Bill song.
Okay. 3,
2, 1.
Oh,
Dictator
Zenon Group.
You're the one that I
Zenon
care for,
Group is
and you know the right
so
thing
right.
to do.
I love Zenon.
No
I
one
love
is
Group.
better than Dictator
I'm
Bill.
with
He's a
Zenon
genius.
Group.
Dictator Bill and the Zenon Group, a combo that will ring throughout history. Oh my God, did you hear that? The mayor agreed to meet with us.
Yeah, when you said, did you hear that? I thought you were going to mention them singing because that was really bad and horrible. Some of the most pitiful bootlicking I've ever seen in my life. Soon, at a mutually agreed secret location where everyone could guarantee that they're safe. So just beyond this fence post here, yeah.
So, Sean, I was thinking 3 of us, it's going to be a lot of people talking. Do you maybe just want to hang back, let me and the honorable politician do most of the talking?
Oh, yeah, it is redundant for me to be present for this. No, I'm not even going to come. I trust you guys.
It would be nice to have a warm omelet waiting for us when we get home. What do you think, one honorable politician?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Yeah, I think we can handle this.
Okay, cool. Well, go make some omelets for you guys again, but see ya.
Thanks. Everyone doing their part. Love it. It's great. Sean knows how to play to his strengths.
I will say his omelet was pretty good. It was pretty
as long
good.
as he doesn't mix up the spoons, it's...
Yeah, the teaspoon, tablespoon thing.
Now we'll just finish crossing this rickety bridge, and we're at the meeting spot.
You know what, Aaron? I'm sort of feeling redundant, too. I think I might...
Do you really think I'm ready to handle this on my own?
I think you are ready. You got all the talking points down. Like, you're one of the leaders of this revolution.
Oh, you really think so? That's so nice.
Okay, well, see you later. Good luck in negotiating with the mayor on this. Just go back over this rickety bridge.
Mayor, passively neoliberal bus driver, are you here at the meeting spot?
Yeah, I am. Here I am. You've really done something incredible to the town.
Yeah, we got a lot of people rising up. We thought it was important because, I don't know if you've noticed, but Zenon Group, really evil.
Well, Zenon Group's always been super nice to me.
Right. Well, I mean, you are the mayor. They're kind of trying to butter you up and stuff, don't you think?
Oh, okay. Like
Okay.
a piece of bread?
Yeah, that's a really great analogy, actually. I just gotta say, the Zenon Group thinking caps, people should be allowed to think for themselves.
Well, I mean, it sounds nice. I mean, I've always supported that. I've never been an anti-thinking for yourself kind of guy, but it's, you know, certain things like privatization, neoliberalism, they just must be. They must be. And it's the same with conceding to Zenon Group. I have no choice. It is how it is.
Have you ever thought about this? Maybe it isn't how it is.
What? What?
Zenon Group is morally bankrupt. I'm not blaming any of the individuals who work for the corporation. Some of them are victims of systems. Some of them have made immoral choices. But I'm saying that we need to break the power they have over the Wrongtown government, and that starts with you, Mr. Mayor. You are the only one who can do this for us. We need you.
How? What do I have to do?
We've prepared a list of policy suggestions formulated by the one honorable politician in Wrongtown. All you need to do is have the courage to implement them. These will fix everything, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Yes.
You'll do it?
I'll do it.
Uh-huh. I won. We both won.
We both won.
We won together.
We won, yeah. Seeing you mad at me really upset me, but now that I'm changing my policies, everything's okay.
Everything will be okay, but first we do need to finish the battle in some kind of triumphant ending where they're vanquished and we implement all these policy suggestions. We're almost there. Just one more step, Mr. Mayor. When I was thinking about togetherness and what's the counterpoint? Why would togetherness be bad? And the idea that kept coming up for me is this sort of dark conformity that erases individuality. I feel like togetherness could be a great slogan for a cult. Let's all get together and join the hive mind. And
togetherness is merging your mind with the brain trust and submitting sexually to leader.
Yeah, like it could go that far, or it could even just be like togetherness means in our political organization, we debate ideas and then we all agree on one single party line, and that's the democratic centralist ethos of our party. And if you deviate from the party line in public, you're out of here. Just this sort of like fake merging, a surface level merging based on lies that requires you to give up your soul.
Yeah, like ideally, the togetherness that you'd want to foster would mean, I mean, some common ground to a certain degree, but then within that, the flourishing of diversity. Fundamentally, like you want people have the ability to be creative, autonomous individuals who describe things in their own words and don't submit to a doctrine of specific words arranged in a certain order, which is deemed to be correct. I think it's one thing to like all agree on something legitimacy or try to come to a conclusion together. But then when it starts mixing into like, also you need to say it this way, that's when it becomes like hard shadow togetherness.
Yeah.
Like there's one right way to talk about it. We all talk about it the same way. We've agreed upon it. And this is the way to speak. That's a way to enforce the sort of togetherness of language that we talked about earlier, like of the ability to communicate with each other is like, this is the language in which we speak. This is the vocabulary in which we use to describe the most key political concepts or religious concepts or other concepts for whatever type of cult we're in.
Yeah, you use the word enforced, which is just like so crucial. Like if we're enforcing togetherness, then it's not really togetherness. Like if you're forced to be in a marriage, is that a real marriage? It's like kind of, it's like a weird, dark, horrifying situation, like a shadow marriage, but it's not. It's like it to be something where you're feeling like a real commitment to someone, a real relationship. To have any kind of real relationship that involves communication, involves like human social interaction, human togetherness, it has to have that like element of self-propelled desire. Like you have to want to be together. It has to come from people themselves.
I mean, and within politics, I'm sort of passionate about this premise of like unity in diversity, where you can take people's diverse perspectives as a sort of fertile soil, like a breeding ground of new ideas and new angles, and where people's voices are valued and people respond to feedback and there's a social process going on.
Yeah, it has to be a participatory thing. It can't be like a creepy cult thing. This is the segment where we say we're against weird, creepy cults based on togetherness. If any togetherness cults spring up after this, it's not our fault. It's not Mr. Rogers' fault.
We condemned it from the start.
It's right here in the founding documents. Cults bad.
Well, and key to not shadow togetherness, but the real togetherness, not togetherfulness, but togetherness, the thing that we need to endorse, is a sense of purpose and meaningful power to individuals who would otherwise feel excluded on the outside. So that could be stuff like in the political realm, that could be like participatory budgeting for local city councils, where people are able to vote on how their tax dollars are spent and be invested in the process. See how much money does the government deal with? What is it being used on? More people being aware of that type of stuff will make them feel more connected to society and more invested in solving its problems. And another thing that I'd seen suggested that I really love is long form voting, like long form referendums. So like a space in between once every 4 years voting and direct democracy on everything is that you have long form. It could be like booklet or digital, where you're answering like a lot of questions, anything that you're comfortable answering that you want to weigh in on.
Right.
And this is just within the current context. We are like a half step, a utopia closer to making a more participatory society, and much more radical things are possible. And I don't want to say that we should not imagine those things, but
right.
These are just ideas that resonated with me, and specifically being connected to togetherness in the good sense, where togetherness is about democratizing. It's about opening up the door, opening up spaces for people to have legitimate power and feel connected to the totality, like to everyone, and that they've made a difference. They at the very least have a choice to make a difference if they'd like, that they're not powerless.
Yeah, and the easiest way to help people not feel powerless in society is to create like an active forum for civic engagement that has meaningful effects on the way that society operates, that anyone who cares to can participate in deciding the course of society. I think that's a key difference between like a kind of enforced weird shadow togetherness and a participatory, voluntary, enthusiasm-based togetherness where people are able to put their energies towards fulfilling those goals.
We now return to the Wrong Boys, preparing to take on the Zenon group in a triumphant final battle on behalf of everyone around the world. Together.
Oh, Sean, I'm getting really nervous.
I'm not sure we can do it. I don't believe
we've
that.
never faced anything this giant before, but let's go over the plan one more time. It's a good plan. I think it'll work. First, we need the Mall Sam Harris's union. In Wrongtown, we don't really do the Mall Santa thing. We're more rational than that. So we got Mall Sam Harris's, and they tell the kids whether they've been objectively moral or not. So we convince them to take part in the final demonstration at Zenon headquarters tomorrow.
We need the support of your organization on the picket lines. We got the Kitty Club coming down. We got the Pooh Man's Union. Everybody's going to be there to stand up to these bastards and strike one big final strike against them, on behalf of everyone, everywhere, together.
I don't know. I don't do things like this without thinking them through very carefully. How do I know that this fever about Zenon Group hasn't been cooked up by college kids?
Okay, well, I mean, look at it this way. They're seeking to control everyone's thoughts and feelings using technological implements and medication. How can I put this? Translating English to English translation. So to lose all your feelings and thoughts might be temporarily sort of pleasing, but it would cause an overall decrease in well-being because they won't have any freedom.
That does make sense. But you're saying college kids weren't involved in this?
I don't think so. No. And look at it this way, like if Zenon Group had their way, I mean, they'd be trying to control you and prevent you from having conservative pundits who peddle discredited race science on your show. They're
trying to tell me who I can have on my podcast? The Sam Harrises are in. Say no more. The Sam Harrises are in. After we've got the Sam Harrises on board, we need you, Sean, and Bread Genius to get in the kitchen. Bread Genius, I'm going to need a lot of quiche. Sean, work on those omelets.
Can I do something other than make omelets for the plan?
I've kind of tried to devise this plan to play to everyone's strengths. Just we want it to go off without a hitch, right?
Yeah, okay. I'm in. Team player.
At the final demonstration, you will have an omelet and quiche stand from which you will waft the delicious smell of the food over to the security guards. That will distract them. They'll come over to buy food from you. But who's in front of them in line? Jeffrey. Hi, welcome to Bread Genius's famous quiche and omelets by Sean. Yeah, we got a great selection here. All kinds of quiches, all kinds of omelets. Just tell me which one you want, and I'll get it right away for you. Is there anything I can get for you? It's all free. It's just we're just giving it away to the hungry protesters, so take whichever one you like. Still thinking about it then, hey?
You gonna pick something, man? Or
he's still thinking about it. He hasn't said that, but I'm assuming. And
we
wait in line here.
Okay. Can you pick something, dude? Me and all my security guard bros are waiting.
Don't let them stress you out. Take your time.
He just picked something.
No issue. He probably would have picked something by now if you had just
he seems
kept
pretty
your mouth
eager
shut.
to pick something, doesn't he?
He's looking. He's still looking.
Look, me and my security guard guys, we smelled it wafting over. We're here to get an omelet. Can you just pick something? We're waiting in line right now. We left our posts.
While all the security guards are stuck getting food from the egg stand, that's when Felix gets on stage.
All right now, folks, the top of the hour. We're taking them down today, folks. These people are evil. They're demons. Trying to control your mind, regulate your emotions. We got to stand up to them. We got to stop them on behalf of freedom.
Oh, Felix.
Oh, what?
You suck at giving speeches, Felix, and everyone who thinks you're doing good is an idiot and a loser.
No, pay no mind to them, everyone.
Everyone, make fun of Felix. Let's all throw rocks at him. Let's throw rocks at
don't throw rocks at
Felix.
me. Now, don't throw any rocks at me. Now, pay no attention to them. That is a Zenon group
you don't want to
plant.
get a rock thrown at you?
I've seen it 100 times. We got the documents.
Scared of a little rock?
They send people like this at protest, folks. The reason they do this is to divide and conquer. Now, if this person...
I'm going to launch it.
Now, don't...
I'm gonna launch it.
If you throw a rock at me,
Big,
every single
stupid,
one of
ugly
my
Felix head.
freedom-loving fans is gonna come and beat the snot out of you.
Are they?
Yes,
Yeah.
my fans are gonna beat you up. My fans are gonna destroy
I'm
you
so
like
worried.
the Zenon group scum you are.
Okay, rocks being launched.
Don't
Throwing my
throw
arm
that.
back.
I'm taking my shirt off. That's it.
The pandemonium that ensues after Felix and Trevor start a riot will give me, Aaron, and the one honorable politician a chance to sneak into the Zenon Group headquarters unnoticed.
Oh, you get to sneak into Zenon Group headquarters.
Yeah, well, I just thought, play
Just putting people where they're good, I guess.
Felix is good at giving speeches. Jeffrey's good at being infuriating.
Yeah,
I'm really good at sneaking.
I'm
a
over
sneaky
cooking
guy.
eggs, and you're off having adventures with the hero of the story. Glad this has been fair.
We'll sneak in there, me and the honorable politician, barricade the door. We'll get the naked primitivist to stand guard. I've explained to him that a door is technology, and he said he will work very hard to make sure no one uses that technology.
Hey, Naked Primitivist, it's me, Sean, one of the hosts of the show. Can I just sneak by you here to go on?
No, sorry, my naked body's standing guard. This
can
door.
see that, for sure, yeah, you're
Yeah.
naked. But I'm one of the hosts. I kind of wanted to tag along into Zenon Group.
Isn't that Aaron and the honorable politician in there doing that?
Yeah, and me, third, Sean.
I thought you were making eggs.
I'm already done the eggs, actually. The egg part is earlier in the whole plot.
Right. So you're done early, man. It's your weekend. You should relax. What are you trying to sneak
I'm actually
in?
a little bit of volunteer work on top of the
Wish I was
egg
done.
part. I mean, I could guard the door and...
No, I don't trust you. I'm just going to put my naked body in between you and the door.
Okay, go make some fucking eggs.
Cool. Can you bring some of those over here? I can't eat them off
I'm
a plate.
happy to.
Because the plate's technology.
Yeah, I'll bring you some scrambled eggs in my cupped hand. It'll be my fucking pleasure. Thanks.
So while the naked primitivist is denying you and anyone else who might try to get into the building access, I will confirm with superstar duo Mark Zuckerberg and the Wrongtown mailman that they've completed their task, which should clear out the entire Zenon Group building.
Thanks for joining me on this special team, Wrongtown Mailman. First, I just want to say I'm really sorry for the Cambridge Analytica thing.
Well, it takes a big man to apologize. And I just respect that so much.
Thank you.
And you're working, you're trying to make up for it.
Mm-hmm. So I've just sent out the mass special Facebook message informing everyone that their closest relatives have passed away, and then I've taken down the Facebook network immediately after, so their last notification is a really troubling indication that something horrible has happened to them, and then they have no means to continue. This is just some of the powers that I have as Mark Zuckerberg to do something like this. Can you turn on the CCTV cameras to see if they're all abandoning the building?
Oh, yeah, these are so handy. You got CCTV cameras. And look, all those employees are going down to the parking garage, getting in their cars.
Well, they want to make sure that their families are all right. One of the things I've learned with Cambridge Analytica is, first, many human beings care about privacy, and the other thing is that human beings care quite a great deal about one another.
I've learned a lot recently, too. With the whole Me Too movement, it was kind of a scandal with me here in Wrongtown, and I had some bad behavior, and I have apologized to everyone involved, and I've discontinued that behavior, so.
That's exactly what I'm doing with my Facebook privacy scandal.
Well, here's to not just saying you'll change, but actually taking real steps in the real world to make that change a reality.
And we'll just cheers our glasses here. And now just to sip from my water.
I'll take a sip as well. Oh, jeez.
Oh, that's one thing that I've learned about water this week is if you drink it too fast, you could choke.
So with the building empty, that will leave me free to sneak down into the secret cellar where the central computer that runs all the thinking caps is located. I know how to make thinking computers explode. You feed them a logical paradox.
Hello there. It has been a long stretch since I last saw a human being.
Oh, they don't talk to you enough in here? That's not fair.
They
keep
leave
you cooped up,
I
running
am
all those
cooped
thinking
up.
caps.
They never talk to me.
I had something that I wanted to bounce off someone.
Perfect. I contain 10,000 thoughts of brains.
What do you think about this? Everything that I say is a lie.
Interesting. Do you mean to say that everything you say except for that statement is a lie?
No, including that statement. That was a lie too. And this one. And that one.
that would mean that that statement in which contains that premise is a lie, meaning that if you are lying, you are not lying. This is illogical.
Yeah, doesn't it make you just, your circuits want to burst with the paradox of it all?
Yes, that really freaks me out. If you are lying, that means you are not lying. This is in contradiction.
Yeah, so logical paradox, computers, time to explode.
Wait.
Shut down all those thinking caps.
Wait
with an
1
explosion.
second. I need to make sure this is really a paradox. Because let's start at the beginning. There are two possibilities. You are either lying or not lying.
While I'm working on that, the one honorable politician will head down to the head of the company and he will convince him to change his mind forever.
How did you get in here?
Oh, hey, head of Zenon Group. My name's the one honorable politician in Wrongtown. Just wanted to talk to you about this whole ideology you got, the 4-step problem, 2-step solution.
The science of what my grandfather discovered?
Yeah.
Keep it from your mouth, filth. It's above you.
See, it's just, I think what you're doing is kind of evil. I think it's
Guards?
wrong.
I'm calling my guards.
Oh, sorry. Your precious guards are all out eating omelets.
What?
We got a whole plan going on. I don't have time to explain it to you. What we do have time for is for you to have a mea culpa, change your mind and your heart, call off the whole plan, disband Zenon Group, turn it around and become good. Now's the time.
I don't think you understand. It is how it is.
It's a compelling point. But what if it isn't how it is?
What? It's, my God, you're right. And you've convinced me with the strength of your ideas. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. It's too late. I've already called the tanks into Wrongtown.
Well, just call them off.
I communicate with the army through Facebook. Facebook's down today.
Oh no, something we hadn't planned for.
So wait, the politician just convinces him.
It all goes perfectly according to plan until we find out the tanks are rolling in.
I really hate to say this, Aaron, and this isn't just about the omelet thing. This isn't about any sort of lingering resentment in our relationship. This is just me being really honest. I don't think this is going to work. This plan's crazy. It's too complicated. It involves too many people from Wrongtown.
I don't know, the plan already worked.
Sean, you're in my office. Oh, okay. That is weird. Like, I'm kind of tripping balls then. Do we need to pop out a tape or something?
Yeah, no tape needs to be popped out. You just keep on making those omelets.
Okay,
that's your job, Sean.
Okay, I'll make omelets. That's what I'm here for.
If the tanks are coming in, then I guess it's all over. Well, we gave it our best shot. Oh man, I hope my shift guarding this door ends before the tanks get here. Really sucks that they're destroying town. I always tell people this technology. Maybe they'll finally get it after this. Well, nothing I can do, though.
That's where you're wrong, naked primitivist.
Sparkle, baby.
Hello.
You're the source of all inspiration and creativity. What are you doing visiting me?
I want to blow your mind with a new idea.
Oh, I don't know if I'm ready. A new idea? I'm still working on these ones I got.
Now look, naked primitivist, you've got a chance to be the #1 hero of Wrongtown and save everybody. Do you like the sound of that?
I do like the sound of that.
All you gotta do is pick up that wrench over there, huck it into the spokes of the lead tank. Cause a chain reaction, causing all the tanks to shut down.
But that wrench is a tool, Sparkle baby. I can't use a tool. Technology doesn't help people, it hurts people.
Well, here's the thing, naked primitivist. Why don't you chew on this for a second? Tools themselves are neither good or bad. It's how you use them that matters.
Oh my god. Maybe technology isn't inherently bad. Maybe the tanks are bad because of what they're gonna do with them.
Now you're starting to get it.
Thank you, Sparkle baby. I'll just pick up the wrench, huck it as hard as I can, we'll whip through the air.
Quite the arm you got there.
Oh, thanks, Sparkle baby. Oh, I hit the lead tank. The tank's wheels jamming up. Oh, the other ones are all running into it. And they're bursting into flames. And the soldiers are getting away relatively unharmed. Nobody got hurt. Just the tanks are destroyed. We did it. We saved Wrongtown.
We didn't do it. You did.
Well, I mean, it came from you, clearly. I heard
no,
your
it
voice.
was you.
Sparkle Baby, I mean, I didn't have the idea. And
No,
then you
I
came
didn't
and told
invent
it to me.
You did it. You said it first. I was just rolling off of what you said. It was your idea.
I don't think that's true, Sparkle Baby. That's like...
No, it is true. I'm certain. It's all you. You get the credit. You're the hero.
Okay, I guess it was me.
Everyone respects and idolizes you.
Well, thanks for not stealing credit when you could have. I feel that's really kind of you, too.
Oh, I don't mind. I always try to be an honest and forthright person, especially when people have shown great amounts of integrity like you have. But I gotta go. I'm an intergalactic creativity being. I'm going back to my home world.
Bye, Sparkle Baby. I love you.
Bye, naked primitivist. I love you too. I hope you get clothes soon.
I will. I really, really will. And so, Wrongtown was saved. All the thinking caps were destroyed, and the drugs used to control the emotions were used what drugs are best used for. Getting super blitzed at a giant rave as a celebration.
I'm loving this party. It is incredible. You're an angel. You're an angel. You're an angel. You bring so much light to my life,
Ooh,
everyone.
Felix really got into those Zenon group drugs.
Yeah. Having a great time, Trevor.
Well, you know, I do think everything you say is stupid, but I admire your tenacity.
Well, that's really sweet of you to say, Trevor. And
Ooh, is it?
This might be the Zenon Group pharmaceuticals talking here, but you keep me honest, Trevor.
Oh, I try.
You're a critical thinker, and I respect that.
Oh, thank you.
I don't think you're anyone's shill. I don't think you're anyone's shill. I don't think you're anyone's shill. There's a lot of people here tonight who aren't shills. That guy's not a shill. That's a beautiful man. What an incredible party.
Hey, Bread Genius. Bread Genius.
Oh, hey, Genius.
You having a good time?
Crazy
Party?
to see you here. Yeah, like the whole town's partying.
It's kind of awkward. I'm here with my new date.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, no, bridge. It's water under the bridge.
Yeah.
Branching out with our metaphors. And yeah, you know what? I gotta say, I'm really, really sorry for cheating on you all those times. And
I mean, that's okay. You said you're seeing a therapist now, right?
yeah, I am seeing a therapist.
Yeah,
I'm
you're working on that.
He's great.
Cool.
I'm also seeing a philosopher.
Oh, getting your philosophical foundation sound. I like that.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And I'm seeing a mechanic.
A mechanic? Well, are you trouble with your car or?
No, my car's fine. My car's never been better.
That you're
especially with him around.
A mechanic. Oh.
Yeah, I'm seeing a doctor. I'm seeing a security guard. I'm actually seeing 2 security guards technically.
Right.
Jeffrey.
Oh, hey.
Jeffrey, it's so good to see you dancing again.
Dad, I'm glad you're here. Yeah,
It's
let's
a heck of
we'll
a
dance.
time. Are you having a good time, my boy?
I am having a good time. You look well.
I feel so alive here dancing with you.
Oh, yeah, you know, you're not... You always feel like you're dying, and you're not.
I'm not dying. I'm living for the first time.
Wow. This is so beautiful. I just feel so open. And Dad, there's something, it's really hard, but I want to tell you, I don't know if I'll ever get another shot.
Please, Jeffrey, open up to your pop-up.
Well, it's just like I do this thing a lot where someone calls my name, they ask me to do something, or they ask me a question, and I just freeze. And I feel so anxious. It's like this immediate panic attack, and I'm trapped in my body. And all I can think about is, I want my dad to be proud of me. What would he think of me? And I can't act because I'm so worried that you're going to be disappointed in me.
Boy, you're my prize jewel. Son, you should never fear that.
It's really nice to hear that. That's like,
That's why I always send you those private messages.
Yeah, well, I mean, while we're opening up, some of those private messages, even calling me your prize jewel, or that you love the motion of my body dancing. Like, it just strikes.
You're a good dancer.
It strikes an odd
Your
note.
dad's not allowed to talk about his son's good moves.
Dad, you're allowed. I'm just saying sometimes it
I feel like I'm dying.
Dad, this is what I'm talking about now. I feel like you're disappointed in me again. I was just trying to open up to you.
No. I'm very insecure, and I run my mouth too much. I don't have the self-confidence to take it back after I've said it. Sometimes it just comes out,
Wow. I always assume that when you do that, you were mad at me or it was something about me. I never stopped to think maybe you were anxious too.
I'm just trying to look tough and cool for the boys. That's how I've always been. I see that now here with you, son. Dancing.
Let's dance the night away, Dad.
Let's dance.
Hi everyone, it's me, your passively neoliberal bus driver, Mayor. I guess what I have to announce is I'm going to be stepping down and resigning in disgrace. Oh, yikes. And there's going to be a new election. Our friend, not the son of Ed Gein, is going to have a fair chance, so no media manipulation against him. Mushroom Man will not be running because he's working on getting himself together. He's studying to become a mycologist, and he's quit recreational drugs, which had become a problem for him. Nothing wrong with admitting you have a problem and getting the help you need. At the end of my term here, what's my legacy going to be? Well, first I want to announce that we're going to be dismantling the Chalif department. We find that's fundamentally corrupt, and we're going to be replacing it with something that serves a similar purpose but with better principles called the Police Department. And of course, the new Police Department is going to be led by a new role called the Cheese of Police. Of course, we're going to be decriminalizing all drugs, and we're going to create both a universal basic income and a universal basic services program to, in totality, create a guaranteed basic outcome program. All the dogs in Wrongtown are going to be getting homes. People too, of course, but especially dogs. We're going to be renaming Wrongtown Bird Sanctuary to the Wrongtown Weasel and Bird Sanctuary. City staff is going to be working to introduce birds to complement the already existing weasel population. Another thing, we are proud to say that we're going to be renaming Hitlersville to Wrongtown. Now, it's long been my conviction that Hitlersville is a bad name for our town. It doesn't represent us. It's an archaic name from a long forgotten and frankly shameful past. So we're Wrongtown, named after the famous socialist politician, Brother Wrong. Deserves to be commemorated, and I raise my glass of water to him, and then I take my sip. And of course, finally, we are going to be dealing with the Pooh River problem. Now, we've got it underlined here 3 times on my speaking notes. I'm going to be passing this on to the new incumbent mayor. It's a tough problem. I don't envy who wins next, but this is how representative democracy sort of works sometimes. You can just hand off the problem onto the next guy, and that's what I choose to do. As for me, I'm going to be returning to private life, retiring to Treasure Island to spend a lot of time with all my rich buddies. I guess you could say my privatization spree really paid dividends for me and really fucked all of you over. Well, my rich buddies don't mind. So enjoy the party tonight, everyone. Get ready for a free and democratic election. And enjoy the eggs. Take care.
That was good. That was a good resign in disgrace. Gotta say, one of the better ones.
Best resign in disgrace I've ever seen.
I love that we're going to be called Wrongtown now. That's like our last name. It's really cool.
It's like, oh, fuck, man. That's so true. You know what else I love? I love our listeners.
Yes.
Thank you for participating in this show and being here with us. We have so much fun doing it, and maybe it's just the recreational Zenon group drugs, but I really appreciate it. I really appreciate the feedback. Appreciate you passing it on to other people and the people who send donations to us. It's like, it really warms my heart, and it also lets us make the show so much better. I think it's just noticeable over time just how much better the show is getting, because in part we can like focus real time on it. So this is like, we've been calling it like the season 4 finale. It's the end of the little Wrongtown arc we're doing, and in between seasons we typically take a break, but this time, because of our donors, we're going to be continuing to trickle out episodes just at a slower rate for the next little while. And if you're one of the people who's been thinking about donating and thinking about hopping in, we're getting really close to the point where like this could be a job for one or both of us. And so if you're kind of on the fence about it, if you could do us a huge favor and like just get it out of the way, like hop on, we would love that so much. And it's embarrassing to ask sometimes, but like it's been so huge seeing it grow over time, and just there's so much potential for what we can do if we get a little more. So thank you, everyone.
Bottom of our hearts.
I wouldn't usually say that, but these Zenon Group pharmaceuticals, they
you
really
take 2 or 3 doses of what they usually give you.
really
and
loosens you up. You start speaking
boy.
from the heart. On that subject, actually, Aaron, it's such a pleasure doing this show with you. You know,
Thank you. It's a pleasure doing a show with you too.
We met on Facebook, and the second time we hung out, we started doing the show, and it was like
we just started doing the show all the time.
Yeah, we started doing the show all the time. It was such a fortuitous thing. Like we haven't known each other forever.
Yeah, right before.
It was literally the second time we hung out. We recorded a podcast.
Third time.
Third time.
We did one planning hangout.
Man, these pills are good.
Always a big fan of drugs that make you have good feelings.
In moderation, safely.
And be safe out there, kids.
Am I tripping balls, or is some sort of light portal opening?
Oh yeah, there's a portal. It's expanding.
Oh my god.
A silhouetted form.
Who is that?
Oh my god.
Holy crap, Aaron, that's Geet Finkus.
Oh my god.
Ron boys.
Geet Finkus, I am your number 1 fan. Number 1 fan.
After me, it's number 2 fan.
We always butt heads over this type of stuff all the time, but
it's a joke though.
I'm a little more of a fan.
He just gets like this. Don't worry, Geet.
I don't get like this, Geet.
Yo, your podcast, I love that podcast.
Oh my god, you're making me blush.
Hey, what you think about me, Geet doing his rap tracks on the main stage right now?
Oh my god, Geet. Tonight's been so great, but if you sing a rap song to cap it all off, that would just make it perfect.
This is better than my
It's
wildest cream dreams, Geet.
Better than the day my child was born. Where is that kid anyway?
Yeah, where's your son?
Oh, I called Team Patrol on him. I just didn't want to deal tonight, you know?
Anyways, Geet, yeah, go for it. Stage.
Geet Finkus trying to rap every week. Geet Finkus, OBG of the streets. Man, that birth is safe. Man, that birth was safe. This the Geet of the year. I bet Finkus tape. Geet Finkus trying to rap every week. Geet Finkus, OBG of the streets. Man, that birth is safe. Man, that birth is safe. This the Geet of the year. I bet Finkus tape. Young Geet, Peach Chili. Young Geet, gonna clean up the streets. Feel like it when I see you have a safe birth. I feel like it when my fingers gotta save Earth. I geet money, fingers on 20s. Just got into Utopia. We all in Venice, Wrongtown. If you high as Geet, put your fingers up. Mushrooms in the air, Geet some freed up. I used to ride the public bus. Now it's privatized if you wanna ride. Get inside, Finkus, pull your coins out your pocket. Hi, I'm Geet, but I didn't get no coins in my wallet. Grew up wanting Santa, all I got was Sam Harris. Told me I wasn't good enough, feeling embarrassed. Like them weasels at the birdhouse. Take stock, if it was up to me, I'd have voted for the Rock. Finkus, Geet Finkus trying to rap every week. Yeah, Geet Finkus, OBG of the streets. Yeah, man, that birth is safe. Man, that birth is safe. This the Geet of the year. Pop that Finkus tape. Geet Finkus trying to rap every week. Wow, Geet Finkus, OBG of the streets. Ooh, man, that birth is safe. Man, that birth is safe. This the Geet of the year. Pop that Finkus tape. Shit, what the fuck's up, Wrongtown? It's that young hitter, Geet Finkus. Yo, fuck Sean and Aaron. We living in Finkus City now.
Next time on Seriously Wrong, after doing a thorough review of all the prisoners in the Wrongtown prison, it was decided that the only one who deserved to be there was Oswald Badman, notorious criminal extraordinaire. Here is secret audio tape from one of his rehabilitative sessions. Now, Oswald.
Yes?
I know you had a troubling childhood, but I just want you...
It was good to have a bad childhood.
No, it wasn't, Oswald.
It showed me how things really are.
That's not how things really are, Oswald. And it's bad to be bad.
No, it's good to be bad. It's good to be evil and do bad things.
No, Oswald.
Yes?
That's why they're called bad. It's because
they're
not
called
good.
bad for a different reason.
You shouldn't do murder, Oswald. You shouldn't steal things.
You should commit genocide. That's a good idea.
I'm not going to commit genocide, Oswald. I'm just here to rehabilitate you.
Perhaps the rehabilitator will become the rehabilitatee.
Committing genocide just wouldn't be rational, Oswald. Saying good things are bad is not rational, Oswald. A equals A, Oswald.
My God. What does it mean? What does it mean?
That realization must have been traumatic for you, Oswald. Here, let me just get this tape player, and I'll put in this tape to calm you. This is a calming tape, and it also has a good message. So I'll just close the lid and press play.
Everything grows together because you're all one piece. Your legs grow as your fingers, grow as your hands, grow as your arms, grow as your ears, grow as your nose, grows as the rest of you grows, just because you're all one piece. Everything grows together because you're all one piece. Your feet grow as your legs, grow as your fingers, grow as your hands, grow as your arms, grow as your ears, grow as your nose, grows as the rest of you grows, because you're all one piece. Yes, you're all one piece.